Let's talk about running a business and having goals and setting goals and how important it is to getting where you need to go with a business as a business owner. So when you're first starting as a business owner or you've been in business for a long time, you probably already realize how important it is to set goals and have intentions for your business. You know, there's a saying that if you don't know where you're going, anywhere you end up will be where we're supposed to go, you know, something to that extent. And basically it's so important to visualize and to focus on and have goals. And, you know, some call this manifestation. I'm not going to go that far to call it manifestation, but I'm going to say it like, let's call it dreams. You know, that's kind of another way of saying manifestation. Basically goals, you know, goals is the formal way of saying it. So in business, at least. So everybody in business likes to chart, you know, they like to look down the road. Big corporations, like large corporations, C Corps, will usually have 5, 10, 15, 20, even up to 50-year roadmaps. Or even further, because it's very important for them to forecast where they're going, and you know, especially if they have investors, they've got a lot of people on the board. That's what they do, is they basically focus on what they're going to achieve as a company. So how do we dial this down and boil this down to ourselves as a business owner or somebody who's starting a business or has a dream about starting a business? Well, I think it's really important to write down your goals. But what I wanted to talk about, this is not a, you know, so far what I've said in this video is nothing, you know, revolutionary. You've heard this a million times. But what I want to talk today that maybe you have not heard of is what I want to call shell goals. So you've heard of shell companies. I'll explain shell companies because that'll help you give context of what shell goals, or what I've coined this term, shell goals. Basically, a shell company is a way of protecting yourself. So, you know, rich and famous people or big, you know, very wealthy people will create shell companies. So it's a company that owns another company that owns another company, and it makes it a lot harder to find and sue or go after that specific company. So that's a shell company. It gives you protection. So what's a shell goal or a shell dream? Well, basically, it's a dream that you're okay with not having that is very grandiose, but you're okay with not achieving it. So the whole idea is to be able to share this dream and this vision with people, knowing that that's not necessarily the vision of the dream that you really want to have. So you may have two different goals that you want to have. You have an actual goal, that's your private, your private key, and then you have your public one. This is the one that you're going to share. So I know this may sound crazy, but in the world of manifestation, you don't necessarily want to share what your end goal is to people, because, you know, I don't want to get into all the specifics, but the idea is that it could, you know, dissolute or dissolve the energy because you need to focus in that particular direction. So I think the concept of a shell goal is very, very interesting. I'm not saying this is a lie, because this is also a goal that you would like to achieve, but it could be pretty grandiose. It's one that most people would poo-poo on, like, oh, you're gonna have a nationally recognized brand that's on the stock market, or you're gonna have a company that's worth $1 billion, you know, et cetera, et cetera. It's a very grandiose goal. That's a great goal to share with people because they're focused on that and poo-pooing on that. Meanwhile, you have a different type of goal that's much more reasonable, much more practical, and you can actually attain it, and you have a roadmap to get there. So, like, why do this exercise? Because, you know, if you study manifestation and creating goals and stuff like that, it's important to not get the energy of your focus dissolved by other people who have negative thoughts about it, who don't believe you can actually achieve that, especially when we're talking about friends and family. People who have seen where you come from and they know who you are. They're like, there's this, you know, that person, I know this guy. There's no way he can do this. He's not going to have $1 billion company. And, you know, and everybody poo-poos it. And so that's fine if it's the shell goal. So give them the shell goal. But meanwhile, over here, you have the actual practical goal, because goals need to be practical. They need to be step A through B through C, that we can actually achieve that, and then we move on to the next steps, and then the next steps, and you can see the vision of where you want to get to. So I think this is a really interesting concept. You know, honestly, it's a little bit in the woo-woo world, and, you know, but a lot of people in business believe in visualizing, manifestations, and so this is a concept that is actually used in the business world. There's even retreats and practices and people who, you know, will help to get businesses on board with this type of concept and thinking. So I don't think it's that crazy for us to maybe have a shell goal and have an actual private goal that we actually want to achieve. So maybe think about that concept. Definitely comment down below if you think I'm on the right track with this, or it's kind of a crazy thought, or if this is something you would implement, and, you know, maybe what your shell goal is. You don't have to tell the private one. So thank you so much for watching my videos. As always, if you made it this far, I really do appreciate your support, and continue to watch my videos, like and share, comment down below, and I will catch you on the next video. Thank you.